Hello and welcome back to the PEP Portfolio template. This video will walk you through all of the additions that have been made since the last time we met once we discovered that the Google Sheets wouldn't duplicate. Each of the assessments have a new tab of themselves. There's been some additions to the home page, and there's been some additions to the modifications page as well. This video will walk you through each of those parts. The home page looks pretty similar to what we had before, but there have been a few additions. This tag identification that you see up top here was the top of the modifications sheet before. It has just moved to the home page. As you move down each year, the tag facilitator and the school attended options or information have been included under each grade level. So that has moved off of the top of that sheet and onto the home page of the website. Additionally, the About Me is still underneath each grade level and there for the student to fill out. Moving off of the home page, you notice that we have a data tab, and underneath the data tab are all the individual assessments that the tag students will take throughout their careers. We have the COGAT, the Iowa Assessment and ISASP, SAT, ACT, Renzulli, SAGES, and KOI. Clicking on each of these, if you just click on the COGAT assessment, you'll notice that each of the verbal SAS and the verbal STAY9, quantitative SAS, quantitative STAY9, nonverbal SAS, nonverbal STAY9 have now been included in each of the little sub boxes of grade levels. So kindergarten all the way through 12th grade for the COGAT assessment. Moving on to the Iowa Assessment and ISASP, we have no idea what this is going to look like once ISASP comes about, the results rather, but the Iowa Assessment previous results will be able to be notated here under Math, Reading, and Science, Percentile, and NSS. Taking a look under the SAT, ACT, you now see a difference of reading and writing and math on the SAT above, notated by the orange bar. Then you look down below, you've got ACT again in the orange bar, and then you've got that score down here for grades 10, 11, and 12. Moving on down the list, you have the Renzulli. And this is kind of where things get a little tricky. I had to create actual columns for each of these. So learning characteristics, you've got the total here, you've got any comments here, you've got a grade level here, you've got motivational characteristics, and so on and so forth. Each one of these are aligned as if it were a row in the Google Sheet. Once you are in the editing mode, you'll be able to see this a little clearer, but there is no grid for you to follow along. It just reads left to right, straight across, as if it were in a row. So you have this for the teacher in the orange bar, parent, orange bar down below, same kind of thing. Moving on to the SAGES assessment. Same thing as it was previously with the columns set up. You've got math, science, you've got a raw score that you can put right here, and then straight across, you've got your percentile, your quotient, percentile, quotient for normal and for gifted. Normal, gifted in language arts and social studies as well, and then reasoning. So you should be able to have all of those. Finally, under the KOI, we'll take a look at that. This is my attempt at creating checkboxes. Again, it's just a skinny checkbox, and again, it reads left to right as if you are in a row. You will create the X's in this small little column here as if you're checking off whether they need accelerated learning, advanced language, analytical thinking, meaning, motivation, perspective, sense of humor, sensitivity. Any of those will be able to be notated here. Comments will be over here on the right-hand side, and then you have a spot down here for total score. I apologize for this being confusing, but without the ability to duplicate that Google Sheet, I hope you're able to use this little tiny box as a checkbox as it was before. Moving on to the grade level pages, if you actually just come up here under the drop down and just click, say, for example, K through grade 3, you still have the option to input the goals, academic goals, reflection, personal goal, reflection, and then the final end of the year reflection. That's on all of the grade level pages. What you do notice is that the standards and modifications buttons have been cut down to just modifications. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, Standards has its own page now. Since the standards were the exact same for every single grade level, I felt that we could just make one page, cut down on the grade levels, and make it easier navigation for everybody. If I click on this K through grade 3 modifications button, it brings me to a modifications page. Again, this is kind of like the checkbox that we had in Google Sheets and that you saw under the KOI assessment previously. This skinny text box here is going to be used like a checkbox. You'll put X's next to the ones, the modifications that are necessary. And then again, you have person responsible. Yet again, this reads horizontally from left to right as if you're in a Google Sheet. So if I have an X under pre-testing, I'm going to come over here and put the person responsible. If it's different for any of these, then I'll just continue to add over here, and then I'll take it in a horizontal linear fashion. As I move down the list, I've got programming beyond the classroom. This one checkbox again is right here. And then moving on down, I have affective development. And then at the very bottom, I have a spot for additional comments, which should allow you to summarize or add any information that you would like to about the student on this. If you have any additional questions on any of this or would like me to go over this one-on-one with you, please, please, please do not hesitate to reach out. I know this is kind of throwing a curveball at you in the middle of the at-bat, but hopefully you're able to adapt to it and just kind of hit a home run with this with your students. So if you're not, my contact information is on the screen, and please let me know if you have any other questions.